Mm-hmm.
They'll see it now. It's popping up.
I need music, but I know we can't play music when we do this because they'll take it off. They won't let you. It's not nice.
Yep, you're live, Karyn. You got people joining.
Oh, we're live. Okay, give me a minute. It's been very interesting getting ready for you guys today to go live. You know, I've done them before, but I don't know. This feels so special to me because I've been gone for so long. It's been a really interesting chapter in my life, I have to say. You know, first of all, for those of you who don't know me, I'll start out. I'm Karyns, and I've been doing holistic teaching and eating and helping people for over the past 50 years, loving every moment and living it every moment. So a big reason for this class, if you will, is to give you a chance to interact with me if you're in your process or journey, as people like to say, and wherever you are. Don't say I have all the answers. Don't say I'm right about everything, because there's many roads to the top of the mountain. But I certainly, listen to me, no, I'm just joking. Because I'm going to be 80 years old, guys, and I don't know what illness is. I don't know what tiredness is. I don't know what sickness is. I know what drama is, because I've had a little bit in my life these past 7 years. But I owned restaurants and spas for over 50 years. I had a raw food restaurant, and I had a greenhouse growing wheatgrass in 1982, I think. Yeah, I started growing wheatgrass in the Chicago area. And then I opened up a raw restaurant in the Midwest, the cheese capital of the world, right? I always say God takes care of fools and children, and I'm not a child. And I opened up this raw restaurant. It was, you know, nobody came. Everybody thought I was insane. I think it was 90 I did, 89 or 90, I opened up the raw restaurant in Chicago, Stockyards, and people thought I was absolutely insane. They'd walk by the restaurant and stick their fingers down their throat, you know, like, who's heard of raw foods? And plant-based, and I didn't even push the plant-based, you know. But anyway, that's where it all started, and I've been doing it ever since. And I love every moment of it, and I live it 100%, my version of 100%. So I want to make that clear, because you make your own version of 100%. You're not here for what I do. You're on your own process to find out where you're supposed to be next and what you're supposed to be doing. What I'm here for today with this class, and we are going to make some food, is to help you understand there is no right or wrong or good or bad or yes or no, just a process, your process to get there. And there's so many roads to the top of the mountain. I'm not saying mine is the only way, but it's worked for me for over 50 years. Like I said, you know, my age, and I'm still, and I have major injuries, blah, blah, blah. But it's worked for me. I know other things, you know, people don't feel it works for them, but I'm here to give you tips and tricks and things to help you along the way to wherever your process. And this is a huge part of it, our food. Your food is, we put a little bit too much emphasis on the food, but you got to start somewhere, okay? Because if you hold up your fist and look at it, this is the size of your stomach. That's all the food you need, all right? And I know people eat copious amounts of food. I love my fellow raw fooders online. You know, they show their food, and it's like a trough of food, plant-based food. But it really doesn't take a lot to fill you up physically. Maybe emotionally you may need that. So I want to address the emotions of it also, because we do so much of food for I'm going to heal my liver, or I'm going to clear up my skin, or I got to get to work. And, you know, we're not actually looking at food the way I think it could be looked at, also as nurturing, as healing, as bringing us all together. Because that's the way it used to be. We used to all come together in the kitchen when I grew up. I mean, you guys are in a different era, some of you. But in 1947, everybody got together in the kitchen. You know, my great-grandmother got in there, and she was peeling, cooking, cleaning greens, you know, and I was at her butt at the sink, and everybody was in the kitchen talking and around. And we do have that experience, some of us, during the holidays, but I don't know if we look at it to be a necessary part of our lives. And that's what I think it is. I think it's necessary. I think that we can address the aspect of food and not be on our phones or watching the news or television or doing a million other things, you know, multitasking. It's to feed your soul, okay? And that's what I want to help people to remember, to feed your soul, not just to fill up, not to lose weight, not to get rid of the acne, not to grow your hair, not for all the reasons that we think we're eating, but it's to feed your soul too. And that's what I want to bring back. So it's interactive. I've got some people here. I've got guests today, and hopefully some of you will come around to be a guest one of these days out here, maybe. But these are special friends. And, it's about community. Yeah, it's about community. And like I said, we do it on holidays, but I'd like to see people do it a little bit more, the rest of the week. And by the way, I know I'm talking a lot, and those of you that are here for just the food, you will get a link, is it? Yes, you'll get a link to go and get the full recipe, and we're going to cut out all my talking, maybe some of it, and put up a YouTube of the menu of what I'm doing. But here's what I want to tell you. I'm kind of making up the recipe as I go along. I do that a lot. I have about 10,000 things in my brain, and I don't believe, by the way, this class just isn't for just raw foodists. It is basically plant-based and raw, but sometimes I might say, you know what, if you're a fish person, where I'm using tofu or mushrooms or something, I'm going to tell you to throw in your fish, because like I said, it's not about right or wrong. It's about the process. It's about nurturing your soul. It's about making you feel good about what you're putting into your mouth, because you see what goes in here translates to every single thing going on. You understand? It's not just going to the inflammation with the celery. It's translating into every single thing you do, how you think, how you feel, how you treat other people. It's so much a part of everything, because everything you eat, that's what you become. You start out like a little baby like this. How do you get to this side? Food. So you're that banana you ate, you're that tomato you ate, you're that cow you ate, you're that shrimp you ate. It all becomes the material of who you are and what you are. And this is what we have to think about with food. Everything put in here is translating to everything. It isn't going to certain sections. It isn't just give you protein for muscle. It isn't. It's translating into everything. So today, my choice, I think we're supposed to go for half an hour, but we may go longer if you guys request it. My feelings won't be hurt if you don't. No, just joking. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about beets. Yeah, beets. And I didn't grow beets in my garden because I'm new to all of this, but I did grow a lot of zucchini, and a lot of the recipes are going to be with zucchini. But I thought the beet would be a great one to start with, because you can do so much with it. And what I have to tell you is, I never liked beets. I actually hated beets growing up. Cooked beets were like, they would stay on my plate forever. But once I came into the raw world, that kind of changed. When you eat them raw, they have a different consistency for me. So I can eat raw beets. But cooked beets, I don't know. I'm still not a big fan. But not to say you shouldn't eat them. Now, there are some schools of thought that say you shouldn't eat root vegetables. I know a very famous person, and I love him with all my heart, and he says no root vegetables. But you see, I've been doing root vegetables for 50 years, and it hasn't harmed me. Maybe a lot of these studies are done if you're eating bushels. But it's got so many positive aspects. My husband is 82, smokes cigarettes. You can ask me about that later, right? And people think he's in his 60s because I give him beet powder on a regular basis, okay? For his heart, for his circulation. It has so many attributes. So, and by the way, you can find some on my website. I carry beet powder because I love beet powder. And this is my kind of medicine cabinet over here. I don't know if you guys can see it, maybe when we cut the thing, but over here. And beetroot powder is one of the first things in there. So I'm very big on beets. Wait a minute, I got some notes they gave me because I'm not a doctor or a scientist. Let's see, it's nature's blood builder, okay? So it's gonna build your blood. It's great for the circulation of the heart. That's what I told you we're doing it for, with my husband, but for everything. What else did they give me here? Endurance and energy. All of you guys that are working out all day, every day, I work out too. It's wonderful for the liver. And this is what we all have to do, is thinking about our livers really with everything we do, with the negative and the positive, because my understanding, I'm not a doctor or scientist, but my understanding is when the liver goes, that's when cancer and all these other circumstances can start to take hold to give you a challenge, of which in my world people turn that around too. Do we have any questions so far?
Yes, there were a couple.
Well, I'm gonna get to making food.
What do you do with the beet powder? Do you mix it in water?
Okay, great. Yeah, what do I do with the beet powder? I'll grab it. I didn't bring my brand here, but I put everything in these cute little jars. Because you know what? For me to get up and open up 10 packets of things to put in my smoothie, it's not going to happen. It may happen for a week. It may happen for 4 or 5 days, but you talk about the intensity of doing something, intentionality of doing something every day. In my world, you got to make it convenient. You got to make it practical to keep it in practice. If it's not practical, you're going to do it, you're all motivated, and then you forget about it, right? So for me, once I get motivated, I set my life up to keep it in motion. All right, so this is my brand in here, but this is my beetroot powder. So I add it to our smoothies. You can just mix it with water and drink it. You know what you can do with it? You can, when I make raw pasta sauce, or even if you're making a cooked pasta sauce for somebody, add some beet powder and mix the red. It gives it that really vibrant red look. I used to do that in the restaurant all the time. We had to take whatever tomatoes we got, and I would add beetroot powder to the raw pasta sauce, and it was this vibrant red, but it was giving you a lot of good benefits also. So smoothie, and I put several things in my smoothie, and we can get into that more. Any other questions? Oh, I need it.
Does it work to drink beet juice for anemia?
I think it's exceptionally beneficial for the iron, for the beet juice and anemia. What I do, I don't want to say caution, but to think about is because there's so much natural sugar in here, and I'm doing that. This is my beautiful glass. I like to make things pretty, okay? Because there's so much natural sugar, and it can help with blood sugar, I usually try to balance it with some kind of deep greens throughout the day, like green kamut or chlorella. I'm real big on chlorella, just to kind of balance it out in my system, because I tend to, diabetes runs in my family and hypoglycemia, so I do watch straight sugar. I take it, and when you do juicing, when you juice, and I would never do beet juice on a fast. I'll throw that. I would never do, because it's way too much natural sugar, and my understanding, it goes right to the pancreas, kind of blows it out, and you want more sugar when you're done with your fast. So I would definitely, if I were putting in my juices for fasting, I would mix it with something else. Okay, so what I did was, I didn't really do it, somebody helped me. I have this beautiful beet juice, okay? And what are you gonna do with the rest of the stuff? You know, I hate throwing things out. The stuff that comes out the other side, what do you call it?
Pulp.
The pulp. I take the pulp. Oh, you know what I forgot to bring out too? My garlic. If you look on the door of that refrigerator, you'll see garlic in a jar. That's why this is the practice preview. We're learning how we need to do this in a social manner. Okay, so here's one of the things I do. Since I'm giving you my tips and tricks in the kitchen, I buy the large amounts of peeled garlic. I am not a chef, guys. I don't do the smashing and the fast chop. And I'm just not, okay? So I buy large amounts of garlic, but to keep it from going bad, I put it in olive oil in a glass jar, and it will last until you've used it up for the most part. So this is garlic in olive oil, just a little, just to keep it kind of preserved. And here's my beetroot powder, and I'm going to use my food processor with the S plate, okay? And I'm going to put my 2 cups of beet pulp, and this is carrot pulp, and this is about 1 cup. So to get the 2 cups of beet pulp, it's about 6 beets. Yeah, I think it was about 6 beets to get the 2 cups, different sizes. Like I said, I will be putting the recipe up on my YouTube channel as part of Problems Today. I did something, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, where we're not doing it the way we thought we were, but I'm here, okay? That's why it's a preview. Anyway, so this is 1 cup of carrot pulp, and I'm going to add in 3 cloves of garlic. Now, what I like to say that I've always taught in my classes is, these are recommendations. There are no mistakes in a raw kitchen. You may want 6 cloves of garlic. You may want 5 cloves of garlic, you know, because For me, the measurement is in the tasting. It's in the visuals and the tasting. Recommendations, the hardcore, but I certainly don't believe. Is there a black towel right there for me to wipe my hands in? Thank you. It certainly isn't written in stone, you know. So, you know, if you're a garlic eater, or if you don't want garlic, don't put garlic in it. I put garlic in everything, and garlic is such a wonderful healer also. So now I've got my garlic in here. What I did to make a binder like an egg, because we're going to make burgers. I didn't even tell you, we're going to make beet burgers out of this, all right? Dehydrated, raw beet burgers. But I'm going to give you a little twist with it. So I've got my garlic, I've got my carrots. This is my egg. And what I do to make an egg, because we want the burger to bind, right, is I take flax meal. You can take regular flax and grind it up yourself, or you can buy flax meal too. I bought the flax meal. I put in 3 tablespoons of the flax meal with 3 tablespoons of water. And now it's like this kind of squishy, gooey stick to it. And that's going to help my burger to stick together too, okay? So I made my egg, and let's give it a whirl. So put everything in here. Oh, you know what else I forgot? To pull out olive oil. Now, I know there are people who aren't comfortable with oils. I love olive oil. I couldn't live without it. You know, it's so good for my skin. It's so good for my brain. I just love olive oil. All right? So I'm going to put approximately, do I have a tablespoon thing? I'm going to put approximately, that's too big. I would call that maybe a tablespoon and a half, okay? Then I'm going to add some Celtic salt or Himalayan salt. You'll see a little salt container over there. See that brown thing behind his water? Yeah, that's salt. Thank you. And I'm going to add some salt. You could add garlic salt to it if you wanted. You could add, remember now, we're in the kitchen. This is like family time. You guys are here with me, and I'm talking, so everything isn't out right necessarily, okay? So I've got that in there. Olive oil, I may have to add more for the consistency. I'm going to add probably a little teaspoon of basil. I'm going to add, fennel. This is really what's going to give it its delicious flavor. By the way, for those of you who feel you can't eat nuts, this is a great burger to have, not a nut burger, right? So we're doing this without any nuts. Although if you wanted to add a little more protein to it, you could add some hemp seed to it. So I'm adding some fennel seed. That was a couple of them. And I'm going to add cumin, just because these add such a beautiful flavor. Do I have any questions in between? Anybody talking to me in the kitchen? And last but not least, I love smoked paprika. It really defines the flavor of being a burger. Is that neat? What do I guess? Okay, so I probably added a tablespoon of the smoked paprika. Okay? Now I'm going to blend this up. Sorry for the noise. Any questions in the meantime? Oops. I'm going to add a little more oil to it. And we'll probably have to scrape it down. Anyway, it's been a very interesting time for me just cooking for myself, you know, having the restaurants all those years. Karyns Cooked, Karyns Raw, Karyns on Green, Karyns Kitchen, blah, blah, blah. And now I just cook for me. So, not really. We have dinner parties here too. Okay, we need to scrape this down. And once again, don't be concerned about not having the exact recipe. We will put the recipe up for you. Suggestions of what you can use with it. I'm just scraping it down. Oh yeah, it's getting the nice meaty. I think I'm going to add a little more olive oil. I suppose you could add another oil or a little water to it, but I like the fats. So probably total, I've got 3 tablespoons of olive oil in here. So meanwhile, when you get your beets, right? You get your beets at the supermarket, these lovely leaves that you cut off and tear off, throw away. You can juice them. They have kind of a spinachy flavor to them. Yeah, they're kind of like spinach. All the great iron, great vitamins and minerals, and the leaves are very edible too. They're really quite good. So we're going to save the tops, and you can juice them. Like you would throw spinach in your juice, or you could put them in your smoothie. Put the whole beet in with the leaves when you're making your smoothie, and then put a little beet powder in too. Okay, so we'll make a salad. So what have we done so far with the beets? We're going to make a burger. We're going to make a salad. These are some beets I did earlier. These are pickled beets, and we can put these in the salad or eat them separate. And, oh, they're really good. I'll let you guys try them afterwards. I use apple cider vinegar, and I don't do the whole candy thing. I do the in the jar in the refrigerator, which are really good. Okay, so beet juice. Oh, let's make our burgers. Sorry. Let's see how they taste. Oh, it's got a nice meaty consistency to it. I might add a little more fennel and cumin. I could use a little more of the spices, but I'm a spice girl. I don't care for bland food. So I'm going to add a few more of the spices. Especially the smoky paprika. And don't be shy about asking me questions. I want to pretend you're here in the kitchen with me. Should I add more olive oil? Yeah. Because it's all. Now here's the thing. After I'm done with this, I'm going to dehydrate it. And I'm going to dehydrate it at, I'll do 160 for about an hour. And then I'll take it down to 115 for 6 hours. I'll show you. We have some made. And it'll be the perfect consistency. So let's run this thing through again real quick. Any questions from you guys over there?
What about some garlic in there?
I did, you missed it, but should I put more in? Okay, we'll throw more garlic in. I put 3 in. My guests are asking for more garlic. Oh, no. I should have cut it up before I did, but it'll catch.
So there's a few questions about people asking how they can get started on the raw food journey, and also, are you still selling your detoxes?
Okay, how can you get started on the raw food? Well, one thing is hanging out in the kitchen with me, because hopefully it inspires you. And actually, you know, all of you watching and those who watch later with the YouTube, please make the recipe and send me a picture. You know, when I used to teach my classes, I know people go home and then they go to the next cooking class. But you gotta make it. You gotta try it, okay? So hopefully, your journey will begin with making this recipe tonight or tomorrow or the next day. Because you don't leave, well, maybe the cumin and a lot of fancy ingredients, but just the beets. So that's a great way to start. Yes, I do classes online, but they're at specific times. So if you're signed up for this class, you'll get information about classes coming up, the sugar break, the detox. And I do work one-on-one with people now. Yeah, I'm doing one-on-ones again. So I do work one-on-one with people. And but come to the free kitchen, because I'll give you all the thoughts and tips and tricks that I could come up with while you're doing it. But here's the deal. There's many roads to the top of the mountain, and you have to find something that feels comfortable and stick with it. That's the most important thing, is sticking with something. Because I know kind of in this day and age, people jump from one thing to the next. You know what, guys? I've been doing Dr. Wighorn, Victoria Slavinskas, the same detox basically with other stuff for 50 years. I add new stuff in, but I don't stop doing the old stuff. You see, you do one thing for a while, and then you jump to the next thing. And then you jump, well, if something is working, or even if it's not, you got to give it enough time. Because it can take anywhere from 7 months to a year for a relatively healthy body to turn itself around. It can take anywhere from a year to 2 years to heal something. You know, we're so invested in this instant. You know, I do something, I'm supposed to get this result. This happens, this happens. The body doesn't work that way. You didn't get to the challenge you have overnight, and you won't get past it overnight. If you kind of started out here and you ate your way down to here, and to get back up here, you got to go through a lot of the stuff to get back up, and this is where so many people get discouraged. And this is why I really enjoy helping people with the classes, because you can find out it's not exclusive to you. You know, maybe you started eating chlorella, which I love chlorella. I eat it all day. Got a whole shelf of it over there. You may have started, and all of a sudden you're coughing and sneezing a lot, or blowing up mucus, or spitting, you know, stuff is coming out, or you get tired, or you just get a reaction. That's the body working. Cha-ching, you're a winner if you start to get feeling a little challenged. Now, it's not say every detox is challenged, because that's what I have to figure out when I do this, so I can use my PowerPoint too to show you guys. But we have like 1 trillion cells in here. And these trillion cells are programmed for a specific thing, but we screw up the programming. We use all the stuff that's been marketed to us to feed the cells. And what happens is they don't regenerate properly. And so you get a wall of healing and a wall of garbage, a wall of healing and a wall of garbage. So sometimes you're in the honeymoon stage, sometimes you're in the garbage stage for a long time, but you have to be confident. You have to know that you've chosen a way, and I'm not saying this is for everybody. I can tell you the challenges I've had over the years, you'd wonder why I'm here and alive. And I don't feel or look my age because I'm a black woman. You know, yeah, we do get some extra stuff, no, just joking. But all the women in my family died overweight and young. And my mother was 47, my grandmother was 50, my great-grandmother was 60. And they all had cancer, diabetes, degenerative diseases, hypoglycemia, a list like this. My mother, hysterectomy, gallstone, I mean, just the list. And you see, that list is telling you, wake up and do something intentionally and consistently different, like you did the consistent, intentional stuff to get what you got. You see, illness doesn't come from out here somewhere and selectively get different people. It's what we put in here, what creates. Now, your DNA, what you come here with, some people can put up with a lot more garbage than others. I have no tolerance whatsoever. I like to joke when I drank alcohol, I was the cheapest. One drink and I was gone. You know, different people have different systems to handle things. But, so finding, and maybe something that I'm talking about today, maybe you'll just start drinking beet juice every day. That's a form of cleansing and detoxing, and know that you're going to do it every day, and then come to the next class. Maybe that's what we'll do with these classes, because this is kind of like, I'm trying to figure out the whole format also, and I was going to ask, what do you guys want? So maybe each time we meet, we do some kind of little detox thing, you know, and you do it for the full week until I meet with you again. Let me know what you think of that idea. I love it, you know. So what can we do today? We'll start out this class with everybody, if you're not 100% raw already, pick 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 1 day to go 100% raw and see how you feel. Or pick 1 day to go 100% plant-based and see how you feel. That's a huge beginning, because that way it's not me talking to you or telling you, you're feeling it, you're creating the laboratory internally so you feel it. And you stop listening outside of yourself too. You don't listen to everything around you. You resonate with what's right for you in the moment. All right, so let's this first class, everybody decide, and if you're already plant-based and already raw, then maybe you need to add chlorella, or maybe you need to add beet powder to your, pick something different to do consistently until we meet again. And then let's discuss what changes you felt. And I call them questions, complaints, and small and large miracles, because I guarantee you something will happen. You just have to pay attention. Because so much we're just convinced, you do something good, you're supposed to feel good. You take an aspirin, the headache goes away. But your body wasn't lacking in aspirin, it masked the problem. And so what I like to help people realize and remember is, you have to go through the pain a little bit to get to the gain. It isn't here and here, Okay, so we've got our little burger ready, I think. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So detox, you just gave me an idea to start with this class. Each week we'll do something intentionally until we meet again and see the results that we got. It's nice to have those goals of where you're going to. For years, even though I'm 100% plant-based, I would say 85 to 90%, 100% raw. I go huge periods, but going through some stress here, I related to some other stuff. Ate a little bit of cook, saw a difference in how I felt, how I smelled, how I looked, everything, my attention span. But that's me, I'm real sensitive. But, and I still detox a minimum of 4 times a year. I used to do it twice a year, 3 times a year. I'm going to be 80. I'm doing it 4 times a year or more now. And what you do when you detox is you break down the layers of toxicity. It isn't necessarily hitting that problem that you're looking for. You're breaking down the layers of toxicity. So the body intuitively knows what it needs to heal first. By the way, that's why I'm a big fan of oil of oregano. We're going to do a class on making oil of oregano too. Because it targets where it's needed, not where your little brain tells you it's supposed to go. And for me, that's what detoxing does. So let's spend a week, pick something from today, and we're going to do plant-based or something you pick up here today you're going to do until we meet again. And then let's discuss it and see how it goes. I love that idea. Okay, so, all right. Did you have another question? Yes.
Yeah, what about fasting?
What about fasting? I'm so glad you asked me that, because everybody is fasting these days. And I love the way they're eating steak one day and then they're fasting the next. Yep. Or they're eating, say, and all of a sudden they just do a juice fast out of class. The body in my world doesn't recognize that as fasting. It thinks it's starving to death. Okay, and you may lose some water and some inflammation, but it isn't balancing the body out. So the classes I teach, which is kind of what we're doing here, the classes I teach is you cross bridges to get there. So you don't automatically fast. You come plant-based first, 100% for at least a week or 2, then raw for a minimum of a week, and then you fast. Because the body knows what's going, it's going over bridges to get there. It isn't going over, you're standing here and then all of a sudden you just jump over and you fall down because your body hasn't prepared to hit the other side. Your little brain told you, and you saw it on the internet someplace, and 1,000 people are showing you their belly buttons or whatever because they fasted, but that's not the whole picture. The whole picture is taking your lifestyle into consideration too. And I also say that when you do decide to do this, put yourself in another mind space. Maybe you don't stay on the phone so much. Maybe you start to fast from a lot of different things, just to bring you more balance in doing it. But I don't believe in eating steak one day, eating cooked plant-based, and then fasting. For 50 years I've been teaching, and I've actually seen some pretty scary results from people doing it. Not always, and some people get whatever they felt they needed out of it, but I wouldn't trust it. And I learned my whole detoxing method from Dr. Ann Wigmore, who started the raw movement for us in our time. You had the natural hygienist before, but she brought it to fore. And Victoria Sklavenskas, who discovered wheatgrass and sprouting and all of this wonderful stuff for us. By the way, I've been doing interviews with him. I did the first one because somebody had something online about chlorella being negative. It was a doctor person, and he said chlorella was so bad for you. Algae, it was algae he was talking about. And I live on algae. Algae is the first food on the planet for humans. You understand? It was the first thing we had. And so I live by algae. Next time I'll have my product out to show you. This is a preview. But I sell chlorella. I take chlorella, I keep it in little pots around the house. When I went to India, I don't want to get on the whole vaccination thing, but I got no vaccinations to go to India. I was the only person out of 99 people. I was chewing my chlorella. That was my food, okay? And I wasn't raw over there. So this person said that chlorella was bad for you. So since Victor is the one that kind of started the whole movement, I did a podcast with him. It's so brilliant. I hope you guys can tune into it. We'll send out messages about this also, because he's the beginning. Do you understand? You got a zillion voices out there telling others. He's the original deal. He lives in the jungle in Costa Rica. I don't know, some of you may remember I did a retreat with Johnny Juicer, and I did a retreat with Victor about 5 or 6 years ago. He's the granddaddy of them all, and he does appointments, and I did a podcast with him, so look for it, because he's nothing but information. All the information that you hear out here. His book was the first one I read after Dr. Wigmore's Survival in the 21st Century in 1970. I should have a book here to show you too. I will next time. Survival in the 21st Century. All the stuff that you're hearing about on the internet, blah, 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 blah. He started it, okay? So look for that podcast for me. It'll be up on the playlist on my YouTube channel. Okay, so I bet you're all going, she's talk, where's my burger? So let's make the burger. And like I said, I'm going to dehydrate it. Let me get a dehydrator sheet. Next time I'll have all this stuff out, folks. By the way, my ovens in my kitchen are dehydrators. I got these years ago at Thermador, but now KitchenAid and a lot of different companies do a dehydrator, and you can get your little toaster oven too. They have dehydrators in them. But for me, a dehydrator is everything, because I don't throw anything away. Oh, you know what I'm going to do in the salad? Because I don't throw anything away. I just took this out the dehydrator today. Well, I'll pull it up when we do the salad. Okay, so let's make our burger. And I have to go over here, excuse me. Sorry. I'm going to use a little ice cream scoop. Now, you could make them bigger. I'm just going to make these real kind of tiny today. But you can just put them, I think it should be bigger than that. That's too small. And you just kind of shape it like a burger. It looks like a nice juicy beef burger, doesn't it? Can you see that? And you can make them as big or as small as you want. I made 2 sizes. I think I needed a bigger scoop than this. And promise me, once again, when you make this, you'll send me pictures. Maybe I'll post them. Oh, maybe I'll have a contest. How about that? See, I'm learning all the stuff I want to do with you guys. Did you see that the garlic didn't cook, but that's okay. Anyway, how much longer do we have?
7:45 right now.
It's 7:45, so I have 15 minutes left. So, okay, so we're just going to pretend this is how they look, and it looks like a burger, doesn't it? I'm going to stick it in my dehydrator, but what I'm going to do, like the magic of TV, I made a couple already. So here's how they came out. Look, dehydrated, it holds like a little burger. I can add some tomato, and when I put the recipe up, I'll put a sauce that I'm going to make to go with it. I make this sauce all the time for myself. It's like it's made with pine nuts, and but it's like a creamy, I don't know, spicy, but I'll put this recipe up too with that. And here's a bunch of smaller ones I made. If you're having a party and you just want people to taste them, I'll let you guys, here, grab one. Okay. How is it?
Right.
Would you speak louder? No. Here, you guys want to try them? Anyway, but here's the good news, folks. Like I said, they're raw, but you know, if you've got family members that you're kind of playing with that don't necessarily want to do this, I did this for the heck of it for you. Because this is how I ran my family. They got what I made, right? But this is one, and I sauteed it. I put a few breadcrumbs in it, and I cooked it so it looks like a regular burger. And just put some mustard and ketchup and onion on that, and you got a beet burger. And don't tell them it's a beet burger, and don't say it's healthy for you, okay? The minute you say it's healthy, nobody wants it. Or a vegan, just say, oh, I tried a new recipe. Anyway, these are the raw ones. So we got our beets, we made beet juice, we made pickled beets, we made burgers, and we'll make a salad real quick with the greens. Dun, dun, dun. So this is just the greens from the top washed. I'm going to add some scallions to it. Where are my scissors? I'm not a chopper, folks. I use scissors. I don't see them. I'm going to add some scallions. I'm going to add tomato. Oh, and you know what I was going to add, just to give you another little trick today, is I was going to add fresh corn on the cob. This is one of my favorite things to eat raw. And when I'm in a pickle and I have nothing to eat whatsoever, I go get a corn on the cob. I put olive oil on it and a little Celtic salt. Oh, and I use that Spanish tagine sauce. We'll make that one day too. But anyway, I just like to add the fresh corn. And they have machines that can do this for you, but I take the corn off the cob. Oops. I gotta hurry up because we have to be done in an hour, I think. I'm gonna add the fresh corn. Look how pretty that is. You don't see my scissors over there, do you? They have a wood handle on them. Would you look at that thing over there along the window? There might be a pair back there to the right.
There you go.
Thank you. This is my chef tools. I'm a scissor cutter. So I'm just going to make it a little more bite-sized. I'm going to add tomato. You could use absolutely any dressing. I tend to lean toward apple cider vinegar or lemon juice and olive oil. And I may throw in a little date syrup to add a little sweetness to it. Even though these leaves are not bitter at all. It's just like spinach. Actually, I think it's softer to eat than spinach. Okay, that, I could add onion, we could add tomato. Here, I'll add some tomato for a pretty color to that. Don't judge me how I cut things, folks. I don't call myself Chef Karyn, right? I'm Karyn in the kitchen. I never considered myself a chef. I dream food, though. I think food. I can smell something, see something, and make it. But chef, not me. I use scissors. I use machines. But somehow it manages to look pretty in the end. Oh, you know what I almost always add to my salads is sprouts. And we'll do a class where we're making some sprouts too, because that was Dr. Wigmore and Victor's specialty. Sprouts are the most perfect food on the planet after allergy-free system. Your body digests them. The enzymes you get are incredible. What it does for your system. We got that. Oh, and of course you could add some avocado. And like I learned on the internet, I keep my avocados in water. So they last forever if you don't eat them all right away. I'll put some avocado in here. Any more questions? Because we're going to have to sign off soon.
Do you still sell your detox powders and products?
We don't have all of the products in at the moment. Some of you know that I just closed the spa and the restaurant about a year ago. It's the first time in 50 years I don't have a brick and mortar, but that's okay. I could make those look prettier, but I just want you to get the idea of what we're doing here. I like to add fat to just about everything I eat, and if you're having a problem staying raw, a lot of times it's the fat. And I know some people don't believe in oils, but olive oil and coconut oil are my friends.
So those oils are considered raw?
If they're cold pressed.
I see.
Yes, the oils have to be cold pressed, otherwise they are not raw. And if you get olive oil, you want to make sure it coagulates in the refrigerator. If it doesn't stick together, then it's got a bunch of other stuff added to it. Okay.
Avocado oil, do you use avocado oil?
I have it, and I haven't used it a lot because I'm so into olive oil. But yeah, I would use avocado oil. I don't see a problem with it. Okay, folks. There. Oh, I didn't dress it. Okay, so olive oil, apple cider vinegar, or lemon juice, salt, pepper, and what I do use for peppers, I use my papaya seeds. I dehydrate them, so I'm getting some excellent digestive aid when I'm eating all my food. But you can use regular pepper, because I use pepper when I use turmeric. I use the regular pepper, so I do have pepper here. But I don't know. What do you think? For someone who doesn't know what she looks like she's doing, this looks pretty good, right? So we got a beautiful salad. I could add olive oil, and I'll give you a specific dressing when we put it up. So let's see what we have here from our Heavenly Beets. We've got a salad, we've got a cooked burger, we've got juice, we've got pickles. Let's take a couple out. We've got pickled beets. And, oh, you know what? I'm forgetting the most important thing that I use beets for. Okay. Come on, ladies. I use it for my blush, okay? I use the beet powder. This is my blush on my cheeks, okay? And Dr. Wigmore used to put beet juice on her lips. We didn't have the powders back then, and she literally had her little rosy beet cheeks. So now that we have the beet powder and I sell it, this is my... I don't have a mirror to see what I'm doing, but can you see? How's it look? I don't know. Okay. You can use the powder for your blush. So, I mean, come on. This is beets. It's everything about beets. Am I missing anything? I got the juice, I got the burger, I got the salad, I got the pickles, I got the makeup. Can you think of, well, if you can think of something else to do with them, send me. I mean, you can do a beet salad, of course. And you could do boiled beets and, I don't know. But, I don't know. This looks pretty exciting to me. What do you think? Can you bring the cameras in on this? Can you see what we got? What we made with our beets today? Ta-da! Look. From this, we get... Oh, wait, I don't have the raw beets out. Wait, no. Where's the plate of raw beets? Oh, over here. Wow. From our lowly little beets, we have raw beet patties, cooked beet patty, pickled beets, beet blush, beet juice, and beet leaf salad. Come on now. What do you think? Okay? Send me comment beets, or tell me if you liked it, or what you want me to do, or what you think I could do more. Don't say I'll listen to you, but no, I'm joking. I will. Send me your thoughts. Hopefully this was so much fun for me. I gotta set the kitchen up better for this. We'll get it.
Do you have a date set for the classes?
The date will be announced very quickly. We needed to get this out of the way because I have incredible angels helping me. Some people that are team members that are just helping me out of the love of their hearts, because this isn't my lane, folks, But I'm learning. It hasn't been. It will be. And I've got some wonderful people, Yusuf and Jennifer, helping me today. And thank God, because you wouldn't have seen me at all. And you almost didn't because of me, right? Thank God they were here. I'll tell you that story another time. Anyway, please join me. The next class will be, you'll get a notice about it sooner than later. We just have to iron out some of these kinks. Do another rehearsal. You guys got in on the rehearsal, right? This was the rehearsal that you came to. Anyway, I'll see you next class. Send me your thoughts, your complaints, your miracles, what you want, what you need, whatever. And remember that if you don't take care of your body, the most incredible machine you'll ever be given, where are you going to live? Love you. Bye.